Tell me, what are you working on right now that really excites you?
Well, honestly, the economy's kind of interesting right now, right? So,
That's a
um,
generous way of putting it.
yeah. So one of the things that I am proactively shifting towards is more of a fractional service that we're offering at my company. I'm seeing a lot of organizations that they get it. They understand that events have to happen, right? But they're pressured from a budgetary standpoint because events have gotten a lot more expensive. So they're cutting back on events and then they're hiring talent that is younger and therefore cheaper,
Yeah.
right? But that talent, they don't know what they don't know. And it's not their fault. They're young, they're learning. So what they need is still someone to drive the boat. They need a strategist and someone to help that younger person know what to think about and how to make good decisions and how to be strategic and get out of the weeds and all of that. So I think this fractional model has really sort of exploded over the last couple of years. And we've seen it more in the CMOs and the CFOs and that side of the business, but
Yes.
why not a fractional head of events?
Right.
So I stood up a fractional head of events service about a year ago where I'm not coming in to try to replace your team. I'm coming in to help your team and try to make them better and to mentor them. And so I'm putting some concerted effort behind that right now, trying to grow that part of our business and really get the word out that we're offering that. And
That's pretty cool.
my goal is to help people make amazing events, and I
Yeah.
want to talk to as many people as I can to
Right.
help them do that.
And while you can do the whole thing, it's also another channel of service to be able to do that in
Exactly.
that way. And, whether this is something that appeals to you or not, or our audience, because this is why I think our viewers and our subscribers and our listeners come back, because these are great ideas. I know many meeting professionals are freelancers, and the answer might not be, oh, it's as easy as call it fractional, but it might be an opportunity for them to reframe or recontextualize how they language and how they brand
Yep.
their services. And that's why, our audience continue to come back, and please comment, share with us where you've had an experience like that in the comments. We're going to put it in the show notes. We're going to put your website, Wendy, so people can interact with us and share their wins and their losses and where they've learned and grown. I also wonder, how much does that touch you on personal note, where you can kind of come in as this ninja and
Yeah.
really dial in precisely in some areas where you have strengths or where you can make an impact? How
Right.
does that live for you?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good point, right? You need to know what you're good at and you need to know what you're not great at, right? And so I have a really broad depth of partners that I work with. So let's take AV, for example. Yeah, I know enough about AV to be dangerous, but I am not an expert in AV.
Right.
So when I am figuring out an AV production for a show, I am partnering with my technical director to help me figure that out,
Right.
right? He knows the right questions to
Right.
ask from a equipment standpoint and all of that. So I know enough to bring in the right partners when I need those
Right.
partners. And I've got that depth and the right people in the right places to pull them in at a moment's notice.
Dangerous it's like my French. I'm
Yeah, right.
dangereux a little bit.